believe so.
recording.
Who wants to do recap?
Let's see how detailed my notes are.
I can attempt, but I make no promises on level of detail.
I am not picky.
Okay. I'll attempt, and people can fill in details as they occur.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Nagi has a weird fucking dream that takes a while. Then she has to have a bit of a chat about, both our asses are on the line if we get caught lying to the higher-ups. And then we kind of are left with downtime for a bit. We have debriefed with Waki to make sure that there are no more unpleasant, ghostly surprises within the house.
We got paid.
We got paid. We got paid a lot.
250 gold exactly for each of us.
We have been paid.
Woohoo! Rich.
Then, so Excelia went to buy herself I think a poison dagger. Got told 3 days. And basically if she didn't fucking show up, it would be passed on to someone else.
They will be showing up.
Okay, yeah, we have
Alex
to stay in the That's right.
Alex had a revelations moment about gold, which, good for him.
I hope it was... Babe, I love you, but I hope it wasn't a revelations moment, because that's the apocalypse.
Oh my god.
Fine, had a realization.
Okay,
Alex was like, God's listening to me? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh, revelations? Okay, the sky is on fire.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Nope.
Hey, Offset, come on. In or out? Because I don't want to leave the door open.
Hey, cat. Hit Kwon, cat.
Get in.
Because she was just scratching at the glass door for me to let her in, but now that I opened it, she's just like, oh!
She wants the option, Joe!
How's cat?
It's cold!
She wants options. Anyways.
Julius has a weird dream. Apparently there's some bullshit darkness shit going on in, Purgatory. Corrupting? Although I don't necessarily know if that's the right word for what was going on.
It's more like shadows were overtaking everything. It was like crawling over things and distorting
Crawling over things and, forcing it into order, which isn't quite corruption. So I'm not sure the word I want there, but it was forcing it into a very orderly, at least very symbolically forcing it.
At least on the statue. Yeah.
Yeah. Very symbolically forcing it towards order. Julius needs to go to Horatari to deal with that. Aster at least agreed to help. I'm not sure who else agreed to.
There was also some weird light in the darkness.
There's some kind of light in the darkness that is probably what we're gonna need to fix this problem. But it's fine. Granny talked about her scrapbook. With some about the festival, mostly about her kids, which honestly, good for her.
And went shopping.
Got in contact with her grandkids. They were weirded out by the fact she has sending. Nagi went shopping. Nagi and Nin harassed not only a poor minimum wage worker, but also a poor woman who was just trying to
do her job.
That too, but also a poor woman at the apartments who was just trying to vibe and make sure these children didn't do anything too bad.
Y'all jumped off a roof and nearly gave her a heart attack. Julius bought a wagon with horses.
Yes, we did buy a wagon and horses because, oddly enough, Granny doesn't want to be doing the amount of walking that would be required for adventuring, so we're doing a cotton horses to spare a lot of people's poor bones.
Especially Granny.
Granny.
Especially Granny's.
Nagi bought the most epic bag of holding ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most obnoxious one she could find.
Bright.
Awesome.
I love it.
I do have a note that everyone was trying to see how much fitted in the bag of holding at one point in the session.
And there was some futzing around with whether or not you could you could hide a person in there.
I
Yeah.
think the general answer was no.
A couple of us
The general
rolled, I
answer
think,
was no.
Arcana checks or something to see if we would know, and we're like, yeah, we know there's no atmosphere in there. Don't put a live person in there, please.
Yeah. So we vibed. We fucked around, found out, and we vibed. And we're coming back at the end of the 3 days of downtime.
All we do is fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is pretty much the motto for this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we fucked around. We have not yet found out. And we're gonna go have a look at job boards.
I mean, the question is, would this group actually realize if they fucked around and found out, or would they just assume that things were ongoing?
You know, I feel like our motto would be better off as fuck around and try not to find out. Like,
Wait till we find out. Wait till we find out.
I don't want to know.
Whoops.
Don't tell me.
So no, probably the better motto would be fuck around and whoops.
So yeah, that's. And we also may not have Granny because
Yeah. Cause brother home. Oh, owie.
babe.
You are muted, Parker, if you were.
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
I realized in a horrible blink of a moment that I forgot to type up the handout for Amy's new knife.
Ah,
Oh!
I have it written down in my notebook. I'm just trying to rapidly. Okay.
so Alex and Aster are the adult supervision.
Okay, I did it. So this morning, Julius came down from his room in a bit of a tizzy.
Mm-hmm. He's a bit
And-
agitated.
I can't remember who all agreed. I know Aster did, but I'm not sure who else agreed to help.
Pretty sure Granny did, because we had people leaving. So
Yeah, Granny
thanks so much.
almost certainly did.
Jasper, what are you doing?
Although it is up to the individual party member if they desire to go on to Boratari with these people. Julius was not very forthright in what the fuck he's talking about, just that he needs help. Today would be the day to pick up your supplies if you ordered anything. Ixalia, mostly looking at you.
Yep.
And if you would like to get started on the road to Horitari, you would be there in 2 weeks if you start bright and early today.
We do want to check for if there are any jobs from between
Yeah.
here and Horitari.
Okay.
Hey guys, let's go check the job boards.
Yeah, it's a good way to make extra money.
Yeah.
Julius is just like, he's checked out at this point. Just a little
Understandable,
bit.
but
I think Nin is also excited about checking a job board out. Last time we did this, you guys did this, she got to see 2 cool creatures that she's never seen before.
yeah. Fair
Let's
enough.
make an insight check on Julius to see what's going on.
You can.
Oh boy. Oh god.
23.
Natural
Just
20.
Just to generally see kind of what state Julius is in and whether or not this is kind of a bad enough situation that Ix needs to intervene, or whether it's just one of those kind of situations where they need to kind of deflect and move on and just keep an eye on it.
It looks more like Julius is having... You had heard him talk before about, like, I should have went there sooner. It seems like he's got a little bit of, like, a guilt look to his face. It's kind of hard to tell, but obviously with a natural 20 you get that. He just looks conflicted and overwhelmed, I think, is probably what you get from him. Like, it's too big of a thing to handle, and he's like, it's like trying to catch water in your hands is probably what his facial expression looks like.
I'm not so sure about Ix at the moment, but Ixalia's attitude to Julius is totally this kind of sibling thing, where it's a kind of, I'm allowed to take the piss out of them, but no fucker else is allowed to take the piss out of this individual.
Right.
All the rest of us allowed to.
The rest of the group is allowed to, but nobody outside of the group is allowed to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if anyone outside of the group punches Julius, not you'll be upset.
That's our man to beat up, not yours.
We can kill him.
Only we can physically abuse our tiefling.
So, Nagi and Aster and anyone else who wishes can go check the job board.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Ixalia, what are you doing?
Going to collect the dagger and the disguise kit if they didn't already collect it.
No, it's easy to run over to where this Tabaxi woman runs her shop, and she sees you and she's like, bright and early, fair enough. And
I'm an individual of my word. Gimme.
She kind of laughs a little bit as she reaches under the counter and pulls out a little parcel, as like it's done up as if it's like you picked up food to go.
Yep.
Because it is a tavern, like you picked up breakfast to like take on the way to work or something. And inside, when you check, eventually you find your disguise kit. You also find a very small, it's like a stiletto kind of knife. Very thin, very concealable, and around the sort of pommel and where you hold the thing, there are these sort of little lines of purple that are etched into the leather, kind of giving this sort of a slightly macabre look. Whoever made this has a sense for theming.
Nice.
And I am going to put it in your journal.
Sweet.
I think I got Ender Farm working.
You got the Ender Farm work?
Yep, it's working now.
Hell yeah!
Okay, continue.
Did you get it, Amy?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Then I need to try and add that to my cheat.
Also, Parker, could Julius buy like a bottle of liquor to take with?
Easily done. 5 silver.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to ask.
Presuming he's not gonna buy some fancy bitch shit.
Nah. He's not in the mood for that.
It's not a fancy.
He has taste, however, he doesn't like to splurge if he doesn't have to.
He has taste, but he also has money constraints.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you who end up going to the job board find, so Haksan's job board is sort of attached to what seems like a larger adventurers and mercenary guild. Unlike Shinoxanum, which didn't have a building for that, Haksan very much has its own little guild there. But the jobs are free to take anybody. It's not, directly commissioning the guild. If someone wanted directly to commission the guild, they would have done it, not put a piece of paper on a board outside.
Yeah.
A lot of the jobs here, there's like one that is like a request to go up into the border between the Chelas and Periapo, the mountainous region, and take care of what people think might be a couple of giants that have made like a little home there. Completely out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beyond our level range.
Yeah. A lot
But I do think Asta looks at it and winces. Just, ooh,
Yeah. Nagi's like,
rip
oh
to
boy.
them.
Yeah, I hope whoever can solve this problem like doesn't get smashed. Holy hell.
Giants are always bad news. Always. Oh.
There's there are a couple of calls for people who are willing to do some sailing work up and down the river. You check that. Again, it's not in the right direction.
Okay.
It's taking the wrong fork, pretty much. You'd be heading in the right direction, but then you'd be turning down a different fork in the river, and you'd be going further east than you want to. A lot of the jobs that are heading directly towards Horitari or are on the road between the two seem to mostly be escort jobs. A lot of upper class folk who are looking to find a little bit of extra protection getting down to Horitari for the festival.
Feel look at Aster. How do you feel that bodyguard work? Again.
I mean, it's not the worst. It's all depends on the client, really.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we should take a few of these and, see which ones are least dickish?
Yeah, and possibly make sure that our companions won't take offense.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's go find... Where are they, anyway?
Most of them are probably back at the tavern or picking up their last bit of supplies. There are more than a handful of these requests. It does seem to be a little bit early for the big bulk of them.
What are the, 2 or 3 most highest paying ones out of the escort missions?
2 or 3 highest paying ones. There is one from a gentleman who seems to be, the way he styles himself is he seems to be sort of the head of a farm just outside, not just a farm, but like a collection of farms that wants to get to Horitari before a lot of the produce, so he can make sure that things are there set up for arrival when things get there, that things go bad, that kind of thing.
Okay.
The highest paying job is kind of tucked a little bit up and into the corner. Not too far, it's not like hidden, but it seems to be kind of like intentionally placed a little bit separate from the rest. This one is paying quite a bit of money. The person that it is bodyguarding for isn't listed. There's no name. It's listed as a high-ranking official who wants discretion.
Oh, we are so taking that one.
Right?
This is plot. Please directly in front of us.
You have laid a buffet for us.
And then there is another one in sort of the biggest, it's plastered in very colorful paper. It seems like somebody got some cardstock. And this seems to be a fella who is not a fella, the name is a little bit gender neutral. That seems to be some sort of rare goods, or maybe an antiquer. That's
So a merchant of some sort.
Hmm?
So a merchant of some sort, then, right?
Yeah, but it's it's very specific kind of like rare goods, antique kind of like you're very specialized like kind of merchant, not just like a motherfucker that has a shit ton of like I don't know tapestries or something.
Mhm.
The vibe you kind of get from it is like maybe also possibly an artificer.
Ugh.
So Asta's gonna write down the details, write down like names and
Mhm.
general goods, and also what the ask and what price is being offered for these
Yeah.
three.
The but all three of those jobs are they're putting a call out for a group ranging between 4 to 8 people.
Yep.
They're not particularly picky on the exact number, but 4 to 8 is the desired. The farmer gentleman seems to be paying about 150. The adventurer man, not the adventurer man, the rare goods man, mentions that he does have some gold, but most of the payment would be in items.
Okay.
And the discretionary one is listed at nearly 350.
Okay. Give me a second.
This is not per person. This is for the whole. Like
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
one group payment.
350.
That's
And
not bad.
there are some like smaller ones. A couple of like there's like another farming couple that wants to go early that's paying like 75 for a group of 3. But the ones you guys seem to be like in the Venn diagram of, those are your probably your top 3 options.
Okay. So I've put that down. Asta does write more details than that, but this is for our reference.
Ye.
Yeah, there's some information about like where to go to contact like these people, where to apply essentially.
Yeah.
So, who are you thinking, Aster? Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind escorting either of these 3 people, but also 350 gold is kind of tempting. However, like officials tend to be. She thinks immediately of Toko.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little bit wary of the rare goods dealer. Some of what is being said sounds like talking around artificing, and things tend to explode around artificing.
That's true. Huh. Well, I mean, it doesn't
It
hurt to
also
feel the 3 of them out.
necessarily know that we're only going to be limited to one of them. We could potentially try and
See if they are willing to travel together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, we could probably do the discreet job, but are we a particularly discreet group?
Nope.
But it might be worth putting our names down anyway, just to see what.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Plus, we don't know if we'll vibe together, and he might choose somebody else. So, or they might choose somebody else. So,
But
yeah.
take it back to the others and divvy
Yeah,
up to talk to see to make sure nobody's going to try and throw a gentleman through a roof or anything.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
So you all sort of coalesce back at the inn together.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. So, we found some potential jobs.
Julius has kind of just like been sipping off of the bottle that he bought.
King.
What jobs did you get?
Well, one's a farmer who is paying 150. Well, they're all escort jobs, first of all, because, they want to get to Horitari before the festival.
Mhm.
One of them is a farmer. He's offering 150 gold for the way. The other is another is an artificer, and they're offering
Officially a rare goods dealer.
a rare
And
goods
in
dealer, yes.
but
They're
the way
offering
it's
items.
a lot of missing.
Yeah, they're mostly offering items in some gold, and then there's someone who wants discretion, a high-ranking official who's offering 350 gold, and we're thinking of maybe going to interview them and apply and for the jobs, and maybe seeing if we ride together, or if if they're even willing to travel together. That way we can earn more bang for our buck.
Well, I would say that the farmer or the discretionary job is probably the way to go. I wouldn't
but I'm
mess.
also
Yeah,
very
one or
curious
two.
about the items.
I'm as well, however, sometimes they can be crackpots.
It's more worrying when they're not, because that means that they tend to take themselves very... They tend to be brilliant.
A lot of people think that the items that they make are the best and stable.
I'm allowed. Asta gives a very bland little smile and nods.
Yeah, Julius just kind of leaves it at that, like, It would be interesting to see what they have to offer for items if we wanted to go, I guess, interview them too, but...
Yeah.
My concern is as much making sure that we gel with them, because it would look kind of bad were we to commit violence against our escortee.
Yeah, why the hell would you do that?
Because some people are insufferable and deserve it.
Good God. Julius just shakes his head. It's like, you can be professional and still fucking hate someone's guts, you know?
Yes.
He just stares at you while he, brings the bottle to his lips and takes a couple drinks. And then he's gonna cork it, because he doesn't want to drink all of it.
Oh.
Alright. Who do we want to go talk to first, then?
Personally, I want to talk to the merchant, because look at how colorful his flyer is, and she holds up the flyer.
What does it look like to Julius?
I mean, you presume there's a lot of color there. There are certainly shades.
Wait, can
Bless.
Julius only see in
Wait,
red?
is Julius colorblind?
Julius is colorblind?
No!
Oh, I thought that's what you were implying.
Well, no,
I mean,
I was
it's
just
bright and
curious
colored.
what it was like. Oh, if it had, any interesting... It would be interesting if Julius is colorblind. Is that a thing now?
I thought that's what you were
No!
implying. And
No!
I was like, did I miss something in the character document?
No.
I'm just gonna roll with it.
No, you're fine. Oh my god. I was just curious, what it was, styled after or something like that. I don't know. Just,
Julius
what-
has become colorblind.
and
Does
Julius...
it look like does it look like an adult with a glue stick or a kindergartner with a glue stick did this?
He's just
It looks like an adult that maybe quite didn't get rid of the inner kindergartner with a glue stick.
I love them already. We need to take this
not-
job.
Yeah, aka Nagi vibes real hard.
Okay. He'll kind of give it a skeptical look, but then just be like, just give a shrug about it.
So, and that's for the... Is that for the antique dealer?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so antiques, and then maybe farmer, and then master discretion?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we talk to the discretionary person first, because we don't know if they're willing to travel with other people.
So they're our priority then.
Well, not really. I mean, just applying there first. That way we can feel them out, and yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if we should take more than one job unless people willing to work with each other, but that's kind of... not to sound greedy, but that sounds greedy. You know-
money is money is money. It all spends.
Oh, I agree, but juggling so many things is bound to...
I mean, it's not really juggling too much, so we're all traveling the same direction, right?
It might
And
be
then-
different days that they want to leave, though, Nagi.
Do they say when DM or?
The only one who lists a specific date is the discretionary, and that one seems to be wanting to leave in the next couple of days.
Okay.
Today, tomorrow,
Okay,
or
so-
at most the day after.
Okay. That's true. Well, we could go ahead and talk to the other two to see when they want to, I guess.
Yeah, Julius will just nod at that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. We can pick whatever worked for us. It's benefits of freelancing,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and there will be other adventurers who pick up what we leave behind. It's
Yeah.
discretion first, and then go talk to Mr. Colorful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Colorblind.
Uh,
Perhaps I should not go with for discussing the discreet job. People don't tend to take me seriously.
Is it because you're a kid?
Yes, Nagi, it is.
I mean, you're pretty mature for a kid, though. Well, she puts kid in air quotes.
It will
Okay,
look
that's
more
fair enough.
professional if I do not.
That's fair. Then... Let's go.
At the
so-
very
and
least, I assume
walk
it's
away.
okay, so you're heading off to the discretionary fellow?
Why?
Okay. So the address you are given to apply is somewhere in the Purple Wood, which you would know is the upper class district that surrounds Hoxon Castle.
Oh, okay.
The specific address is sort of tucked up against the side of the Hoxon Castle walls. It
Mhm.
seems to be relatively close by. It's a decent sized estate. It's not, overly large. It's a couple of stories. It's taller more than it's wide. It also seems to be it is at once more humble than the rest of the houses on the street, but also more stately. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
We know our authority and we know our power. We do not need to be gaudy about it.
Pretty much.
Wow,
Huh.
what a humble but stately home.
Gods.
The mail slot outside of the home, just on the outer sort of fencing wall, the name underneath of it reads Koshiro.
Koshiro.
Julius, I would let you roll me a history check.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that 1 or 2 eyes for Koshiro?
1.
His story. 21. Oh, nope. 5. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. Good lord.
You're too busy in your own head. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
It's the alcohol.
Uh,
That
And
sure
yeah,
is a name.
Drink it!
stress and impending trauma of
Yeah.
You sort of inquire at the door, and what seems to be sort of the head of house for this particular house takes your inquiry. The information you are given is that the gentleman of the house needs to be in Horitari for the festival. would like to leave as sooner rather than later, so to make sure he's there on time, and would prefer an amount of discretion in order to avoid perhaps negative encounters on the road.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Out of curiosity, is it Miss or Miss Mix?
Mr.
Mr. Koshiro.
You're not seeing Mr. Koshiro. You're
Oh,
the
okay.
head of house.
Oh, head of house. Wait, excuse me, what's your name?
You can call me Sozi.
Sozi, is that what they said?
Yeah.
Sozi, would Mr. Koshiro, Mr. Koshiro be open to possibly traveling with someone else? Or-
He shakes his head and goes, "Unfortunately, this would be an official business trip." And
Oh, okay. Would it be possible for us to meet Mr. Koshiro just to see how we get on with him? Or...
I believe he is busy at the moment.
Okay, when will he be back? Or be available? Mostly because, if we do take the job, we'd have to know when to come back to pick up our charge.
Well, he would prefer to probably leave before sometime in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. We are very much interested in the job. Would you give us some time to maybe go back to? Well, we have another party member, and we have to go talk to them too. To just make sure that everything is copacetic, and then we can come back sometime around noon, before noonish, to give you an answer, or.
Well, I would prefer to meet at noon anyway. I would want to conduct a short interview with all of you.
Oh, so you would prefer if the other person was here too, then?
Yes, if you are still interested in the job in the afternoon.
Okay, cool. We'll let them know.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And Nagi will give a little polite bow, head bow.
He would bow back. I believe the master will be home again for lunch.
Okay, perfect. We'll probably maybe pop by a little after lunch, so that way he has time to eat then.
Your consideration is appreciated.
Of course. So we'll be back soon. Thank you very much for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody else had something they wanted to say to the head of house.
No?
I'm actually going to roll a history check for Irene as well. Irene's kind of, as you were all leaving, Sozi sort of leads you out and is very cordial and very kind. But after you all leave, Irene kind of snaps her finger and goes, "Koshiro! That's the family name of one of the council members."
Oh.
Oh no.
One of the 13.
Is that a good thing, or?
Well, he's either the official we'd be traveling with is a very high-ranking member of the Southern government, or a family member of him.
Yay.
Oh.
I would say that, considering they're worried about
Discretion.
altercations on the road, I would say they might be on the higher end of the scale. There are plenty of people that do not enjoy the council, but
That would make sense. Nice.
Julius is kind of frowning a little bit and being like, why did I forget about that?
You were busy thinking
Yeah.
about it.
He just rubs his temples a little bit like,
So, huh. We should probably maybe take that one then, huh? If they're so important.
Maybe we can
mean-
wrangle some information about what's been going on in Horitari.
Yeah, and well, first let's get back to Ast. Do you guys want to still go interview the other two people, or I mean, I'm still down to, but if we're gonna take that one,
I mean, they're paying well. We can check with the others, though, just to see what the items are from the possible alchemist.
that's true. Yeah, let's go talk to the alchemist or the merchant. Let's see, where does it say they live? Parker, where does it say they live?
The alchemist claims he has a shop in Northtown,
Okay.
which is not too far away. I'll pull you all over to the Hawkins map again. That is the wrong music. I want it to be the city ambiance.
I think either would have either arranged to meet at that shop or touch base back at the tavern and then.
Yeah, this shop is a little bit tucked away up into the upper corner of Northtown.
Okay.
It is a building.
So probably one of these.
Yes, right up in this corner up here. Yeah.
So I was
It
right.
is a building. It is a building.
Well, one thing you can for sure say about this is that it is a building.
One of the walls is kind of leaning inward in a maybe slightly concerning angle, but it seems to kind of be holding up.
Probably.
Probably. I mean, it hasn't fallen in yet. There seems to be a large patch in part of the roof shingles that are made of distinctly different shingles. There is quite a large sort of soot stain across one of the front windows.
Oh, this place is delightful.
Sure looks lived in.
Oh, if you think this is delightful, remind me to take you the next time I have to go to R&D.
Go where? Sorry, auditory process. What was that?
Remind me to take you the next time I have to go to R&D.
That doesn't require paperwork, does it?
It requires. We'll get to that later.
I'm just glad it looks like they attempted to remodel, and he points to the shingles.
Yeah. It's good to know that they at least fixed the hole. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's.
And Asta's gonna knock.
You knock. There is a sound from inside. It's
What kind of sound?
metal?
Clang, clang. Oh my god.
Oh no!
Me thinking somebody's like racking their shotgun.
And there's a minute that you can kind of hear like the sliding of a bolt, and then a chain, and then another bolt, and the door kind of creaks open, and on the other side you see what looks like it looks like a bugbear, actually. He's kind of chubby, covered in this sort of blondish fur. His little gangly arms are kind of like out at his sides a little bit, and he's kind of wearing this like very heavy sort of leather apron. And he's like, "What?"
Hi there. Did you post?
Hey, we're here about the job request.
Yeah, this one. And she holds up the really colorful piece of paper.
"Oh, right, yes." He like opens the door all the way, and there's like a little puff of like what looks like possibly like a little purple powdered substance. And he's like, "Ah, and he kind of like motions at like the bottle that was starting to fall off, and he like puts it back. He's like, all right, come in. And he kind of like, as he moves away from the door, you notice his left leg is missing from the knee down, and he's got a little prosthetic peg leg, and he's kind of like limping away.
Parker, how does it know to feel you've created the perfect character?
Oh my god.
I adore him already.
This blonde.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we may end up taking this job just because this man's is.
Watching him.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
This dude
I'm
is
curious.
awesome.
I've given you 3 options, each of which with benefits.
Yeah.
Mm,
One is
That
plot,
sounds
one is
cute.
item.
I just want lore.
One is plot, one is a farmer, and one is this dude.
But money.
Guess which one we're gonna pick.
One of this dude,
Money is
and then
lore.
we don't know the benefits of money.
Lore and money, though.
He kind of waddles in, and the front. It seems like he's transformed this living room into like a clientele area. There's a couple of display cases with some items in behind some glass that have like protective runes etched into them, and there's a big open table with a couple of chairs around it, and there's a big sort of corkboard on one wall that seems to like a makeshift fantasy whiteboard.
Nice.
Fantasy
So-
whiteboard.
He kind of waddles in a little bit, and he's like, "Okay, so the escort, yes, right, okay. He kind of turns around and goes, I want to get to the festival.
Okay.
Festival.
I haven't been able to go yet as a merchant, and I've got some really cool things I think I'm going to make a lot of money."
Oh, like
And-
what?
He kind of waddles behind the table and pulls out like a little drawer that seems to be full of little like bits and pieces, and he kind of digs around in them a little bit, and then he pulls out these he pulls out what looks like a little like handful of like little metal beads, like ball bearings, and he looks at them and kind of holds them up. He goes, "Okay, these I took your normal little ball bearings, right?" And he kind of like holds it up, and he like throws it on the ground real hard. And it sort of poofs in like a little colorful smoke, and the sort of light dust, the colored dust kind of comes up and settles. And then as it sort of lands on both him and you, Nagi, it starts to kind of glow a little bit.
Oh, that's really cool. It's like that spell you do, Aster.
Aster, it
What?
would kind of look a little bit like the guiding bolt effect that gives the advantage.
Yeah. That is very interesting.
And I mean, of course, I've got like, the normal sort of like, fancy daggers and whatnot, but like, you gotta be different, right? At this kind of thing, you gotta be different.
Yeah.
And you need very good product marketing.
He nods, and he's like, and he kind of puts both of his hands on his hips, and he the people of Oxan already know everything about Yoshi's wonders. The people of
His
Horror
name is Yoshi!
Oh my
I'm sure the
God.
people of Horitari will love them too.
Oh my god, we have to take this job, you guys.
Absolutely need to take this job.
Why?
Oh, he's perfect.
I love him
And he-
too, but
And he kind of sort of like stumbles over to one of the other little drawers and he kind of like reaches in and kind of like looks around and it's like, I can't find it. My point is, I could get to Horitari like fine on my own and like maybe. But I'm gonna be carrying so much stuff with me that like, you know.
We do have a wagon.
we do.
He like both of his hands come up and he like points at you, Aster, like double finger guns.
Julius is gonna lean forward a little bit and just ask this man to say, "How good are you at hiding?"
Oh, I'm good. I'm really good. This man is a pretty large bugbear.
Julius is gonna look at Ix and be like, mouth at her like, we could hide him in our and also take the other job.
At which point,
No, we cannot.
it's kind of gesturing along the lines of hide them? Where?
So I was curious. Your note mentions that you would be giving items as payment. What sort of items would you be giving?
Well, I mean that would kind of like depend on you guys, I guess. I don't want to be like, here, have this thing that you're not going to be able to use. That would be kind of like a shitty payment.
Oh, that's true.
So like, I'm going to be taking a bunch of shit, and like that stuff's off limits because that's going to be sold. But like,
Yeah.
I can like walk you guys the rest of my inventory, and we can like figure out like what you get, like what's like an acceptable like thing. Like, I see you like already have like a bag of holding, which like I was gonna offer one of those, but like,
Oh, damn.
you know, we're like that kind of thing. I'm not gonna like give you like all the really special like shit, but like
Yeah.
I got some like normal magic items. Like I got a couple of things that I made that are like I might be willing to pass up, but like we'd have to like talk about it, you know. I don't know fully what all I've got, and we'd have to like, you know. And he kind of like motions towards a room, which you can kind of see is like the doors kind of like creaked open, and you can just see boxes and crates and just like shit everywhere.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
god.
if we do take this one on, we will definitely need the wagon. You will
That would
definitely need to be taking up space in the wagon.
that would be really helpful, yeah.
We have one other job we're going to want to look into,
Right, yeah.
and we'll need to confirm ourselves. But
Depending on
Okay.
when you're able to be ready.
Also, quick question: are you good at pretending to? Would you be good at potentially pretending to be part of our party if worst case scenario?
He kind of like thinks about it, and he's like, I mean, like, I can like try, I guess. Like, why?
Just
Okay,
say that we
so-
aren't paying you, that you're working under us.
Yeah, so there's this noble who has to get back to Horitari, and they don't want anyone else to go with them. But you're really fun and cool,
Yeah.
and it would be really cool to bring you with us.
And Julius is just gonna laugh a little bit and say, not a noble, it's a term of speech, just a noble person.
Well,
I
sorry,
mean,
what I mean
like,
is they're
Oh my
rich.
god.
I mean, like, I could like make that work. You know, I could be
Yeah.
a hush.
Yeah, plus
I mean-
Can I roll an insight check to see if he's
We
lying?
cannot.
Can I
Please?
We cannot do both.
We have
Please roll
to!
an insight check.
Please! We
I'll
have
take
to
that
do
as
both.
Oh, where's
This will end so poorly.
17.
roll 20? Let me also roll in. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a loss for 2 weeks, and somehow I don't think this is going to last for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Roll your insight.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't make 26. It's not
26.
supposed to be, it's not supposed
Jesus.
to be advantage until let me switch that. But yeah,
You're
26.
good. So this man's is not that hard to read.
Yeah.
He seems to be kind of like gears ticking in his head, and he's kind of he seems like he feels fairly confident that he could probably pull off being like part of the crew if you gave him like a couple of minutes to plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we would be coming back later on this afternoon, around after lunchtime.
He nods and he's like, I can do something about that.
Julius is just gonna raise his hand a little bit and say, we should probably introduce ourselves before anything, so you know our names and faces.
He's like,
right.
Right, yes, names, faces.
And how long exactly would we have known each other? Should we say, just to solidify this?
Well, I think maybe we could have probably met when we came to the city. About how long have we been in the city, Parker? Like a few weeks, right?
Yeah, you've been here.
People do know that we have been working on a previous contract for.
We could just say that we met him in the very beginning, when we got here first, and then we took on a different contract.
He does go, I mean, okay, before we go any further, and he kind of like waddles over to one of the desk drawers and he pulls out a couple of sheets of paper and he like holds them out to you, and you think for a second there's going to be more contract bullshit, but it just says, and then there's a blank, will not be mad if Yoshi blows me up.
Oh my god.
I think Asta looks at this and just.
Julius is just gonna grin.
Can I make a perception check to see how covered in scorch marks he is?
You may.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
14.
So it seems like he's brushed out his fur pretty good, at least this morning, and he might not have gotten to work yet too much today, but you can definitely see where the hair is a little bit shorter and where the skin's a little bit, like, poking through.
I will say I may make an amendment onto this. Yoshi, was it?
Yes.
No experiments on the road if we can keep that to an absolute nothing.
Yeah, I can do that.
Unless, no. Unless stopped and away from civilization.
Yeah, stop is what I was
No experiments on the road, but like this is just like in case like I have a lot of reactive materials, and if like something bumps on the road and they spill together, then
we do not hold responsibility for the possibility that we might explode.
Do you have anything that you know is reactive? Because I can just put it on our extra horse to keep it away from the rest of the explodey boom boom things.
He goes, yeah.
Alright, well then that hopefully will solve that problem, but I at least will solve it because I think I can survive at least one explosion once.
I am
Does Julius
very impressed.
Does Julius look like he could survive an explosion?
I mean, it looks like he could survive a small one.
He could survive a fire-based explosion, probably.
Also, he does have that wicked-looking scar down his chest.
Mm-hmm.
He survived something bad at least once.
Does he?
Okay.
What?
No, go ahead.
I couldn't make out what you said, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you sound far away from your mic right now.
Well, that sucks. Never mind.
Oh.
Sorry.
So we'll come back and we'll talk about this. In a bit, we need to confer as a group and figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, and we will definitely sign those contracts when we get back. When we come back, though, if we, everything works out.
Right, yeah, that's fine. I can start sorting things in level of volatility.
That
Much
would be
appreciated.
good.
Sounds good.
Also, hi, I'm Nagi.
Yoshi, I mean, okay, that's not my full name, but that's mostly what people call me.
Nice to meet you, Yoshi.
He, like, holds out one of his hands to shake. His arm is really long. He's a bugbear.
She'll hold out
Excellent.
her hand too and shake.
Okay. You will have to give me, like, a couple hours to get, like... I mean, like, I'm mostly sorted, but now I gotta, like, resort in, like, terms of
Yeah.
explosion ability.
Sounds good. If you can do most of it, that would be wonderful, but
No problem. I got you. Later this afternoon.
alright.
And don't worry, if things don't work out, we'll come and let you know. That way we don't leave you hanging.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he kind of, then he kind of, like, Saren looks at you guys and you're like, okay, go, talk to the rich guy, go, bye, I gotta sort.
Bye.
Yep.
And he,
Julius
like,
will step
motions
out.
your way out with his hands.
Julius will step his way out.
Aster is going to leave. I don't know about anyone else, but
The door shuts behind you, and then a couple seconds later, you can hear some things start to rattle and move about.
He was so delightful. Oh my god.
Very erratic.
only slightly terrifying. So,
What are your guys' thoughts, by the way? Because, so, from my general vibe check, he would be able to, if we gave him time to get his stuff together, he would be able to pretend to be with us pretty easily.
I think it would be
Yeah.
fine as long as we.
it will be travel for 2 weeks, and I'm not sure if he'd be able to maintain it for 2 weeks. That's my concern. And
I mean, worst case, we could just say he's our artificer. They're not that uncommon.
We could always just say that he's part of our group that joined recently. We don't have to say we've been
Also-
traveling with him forever.
didn't you say that the Koshiro? Is that the
Yes.
Koshiro.
that Mr. Koshiro would want to interview with us?
Yeah.
If Yoshi is a known figure, then it's going to look a bit strange that
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Like, in order to, I don't want to say this. I don't know how to say this in character because I don't know how to say he has class levels in character. He seems pretty well practiced, and you can't really do that by sitting in your home all day. And so I think it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to say that we teamed up at some point. But if everyone else doesn't think it's a good idea, then we could just go with the noble. Or, oh yeah.
I
one of
like
the-
him.
I like
No. I like him. He's fun.
Yeah.
I
She just
have
gives
his
Makes-
reservations, and I still do. He still reminds me a lot of some people who've been at R&D for a long time.
I like him, but he's erratic. Erratic. Jesus criminy.
erratic.
The slip and a
Erratic.
half.
Erratic.
Really?
And I don't think
I
that's
mean-
the best thing to have on the road, but if you guys want to keep him around, we can take him with.
So, as far as we can tell, we have someone who might get us a potential political favor. Not much of one, but a
Huh?
potential. We have someone who's at the very least going to be entertaining. And then
Well, I didn't talk to
the farmer to
farmer
do with
yet.
produce, which would
Uh-huh.
possibly help with our further supplying. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to go talk to the farmer just in case? Because we still have time to kill. I assume we have time to kill, right, Ian?
I think
Yeah.
talking to the farmer would be a good idea, and we also possibly might still have some goodwill with the farmers because of the whole
thing.
thing.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, let's go do the thing.
So the farmer, the address you're given for him is up, not too far away, actually, in West Kip. So you just have to follow kind of the wall sort of down towards the gate. And the house you are shown to, you find your way to, sorry, is a moderate, it's respectable. It's not over, it's not overly rich or overly opulent, but it does seem to be on the upper end, particularly for like the West Kip and maybe even Northtown. The gentleman you are introduced to, his name is Takara Eiji. I'll put that spelling.
You send that spelling?
Yeah. Takara Eiji. He is an older gentleman. Seems to be human. He sort of introduces himself as a representative of some of the local farming families and groups, being sent ahead on commission to secure, like, storage space and secure space in the festival for their stalls and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not actually like a farmer. He's more of a merchant. Actually, he's more of a trade. He's more of a guild member.
Yeah, he's I know the word I want, but I can't remember. But it's fine.
Yeah. He's their representative.
Yeah.
He is polite. He's a little bit stuffy.
Also, what's his race? Sorry, I think I'm...
He appears to be human.
Okay.
There's nothing really special about him, in all honesty. He seems like he'd be the easiest to travel with.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have any demands. He's just kind of like, I just need to make sure, like, I don't get stopped by bandits on the road. Because he is carrying a significant purse to rent things out with.
And when do you think you're hoping to leave?
Well, I would quite prefer to leave as soon as possible. I need to get there in time to make sure things are still available.
Would you be possibly willing to travel with another?
I would be willing to.
Okay. Let's see. And what other questions do we have for you? Do you have any questions for us?
You all are adventurers, right?
We are.
Yes.
Do you have any references in town or anything?
We recently fixed that wolf problem. And we also have Lord Kenjiro, who we were bodyguarding for like 3 weeks.
Roll a persuasion check.
Advantage because I name dropped a lord. No, huh?
You get advantage.
That's why there is the persuasion.
Yeah. No
Okay.
advantage. I think he's mostly
Okay.
like, oh, you did the wolf? You did what?
24.
Oh, okay.
She's just giving a cute little shark tooth grin.
That is quite an acumen. Congratulations. I don't know if I have the money to pay for someone of your experience.
Well, it's not
It's
so much the money. the price you listed is fine. We're just going towards Horikari anyway, and we're just looking to see if anyone else needed some protection or some help along the way.
You're quite kind. It is appreciated.
Yeah.
We try our best. We will perhaps speak to you in the afternoon about solidifying plans and if we do decide to take on the job.
All right, of course. I'll be here. And he is happy to wave you off.
Honest, so I think as we head off, I think Asta does. I mean, honestly, if we're gonna double dip, we might as well, Mr. Edgy and because that seems like we'll have the least conflict of.
Mm-hmm.
We do get more of an immediate payout from the discretion job. However, it seems like it would be a very Are we interested in further social connect there? Are we interested in further noble business, or are we more feet on the ground and
Well, I'm personally good at either. I've learned that all sorts of traveling with my parents' party, I learned that all sorts of connections are useful in adventuring. So honestly, I don't think you could go wrong with any of them. But there are other opinions to be had here. She looks at everyone else.
I like the bugbear.
I also like the bugbear.
I mean, as well, if he has no problems traveling with other people and the farmer has no traveling with other problem traveling with other people, we pick those two. It seems like the best option to maximize costs.
I think we should do one at a time.
I mean,
I think it's a bad idea to try and we could accidentally bite off more than we can chew.
I mean, we're just traveling.
one, then perhaps the noble.
There's only two of them.
Yeah, there's only two of them.
I'm the one odd out, but I feel like the noble might be a good way to get a little information.
He sounds so boring.
Well, we haven't met the guy yet. But you're not wrong,
He
nobles are
wouldn't
usually...
speak to us and he wouldn't meet us straight away. He sounds stuck up.
Well, you did hear him talk about possibly having enemies, you know.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Most
sure we have
people!
enemies. I'm pretty sure some of us have enemies. I mean, I don't think I do. But I'm sure some of you do.
Yes.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I abstain, Julius says.
Does Nagi have enemies? She doesn't, right?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, what would you like to know?
So maybe
Not as far as Nagi is aware.
Nagi is the enemy of the state.
Well, that's what her booty chart's saying.
Yeah!
I mean, the bugbear said he could give us kind of, toys and things, so as well as the money.
And I don't see a problem with if it's just two merchants traveling together. I don't see a problem with that.
Also, Kitty stream.
Also, Kitty stream.
Kitty.
We all just stare at Snowball.
And we all stop the conversation to look at Snowball, who is doing nothing in particular.
Snowball just hacking up a hairball.
Snowball has assumed the chicken leg position and is cleaning Snowball's back end.
God.
Because cat.
Because cat. Yes.
All right, I get the point.
She was not pleased.
Oh, she's not.
How about we just go to the interview, see what's up, and then we can decide.
Seems fair.
Seems fair, yeah.
I suppose.
So if we only take one, we're probably taking the noble, unless he's completely insufferable. But if we decide to take two, we're taking the
Farmer
two
and
merchants.
yeah.
I mean, I'll go. Rather deal with the bugbear any day of the week, but I'll go with the majority.
Yeah, I will too, I guess.
Perhaps let's meet this gentleman and make our decision afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Agreed.
I was talking about that before. Let's go!
So you make your way back to the Purplewood just after lunchtime. You have been doing a lot of walking today.
Yeah.
Cardio.
I think
Steps in.
asking Irene to stay back at the tavern until
Yeah,
we were
I
ready
think she taps out.
So many osteos.
Mhm.
Asta will happily carry her if she would like. Or at
No,
least
she just gets her way back to the inn. You manage to find your way back to the Koshiro estate, and once again, the head of house lets you all in. And this time, he leads you back into a study, where you meet a sort of older end dwarf. I think. Hold on, let me check the actual fucking ages for dwarves again. I can never remember which one. Yeah, he's a bit of older end, not quite elderly, but definitely getting up in years.
So like upper middle age. Like middle age to upper, yeah.
Upper side of middle age. Julius, now that you see him directly, you recognize him just off the bat. This is indeed Arita Koshiro. Koshiro. He is indeed one of the high counselors of the Sunrise Council.
Gotcha.
I will get the full spelling in chat.
Thank you.
Is this a bad thing?
Not really, exactly.
You would know a little bit about Koshiro in that he is, he was appointed before the current governor, and he seems to have some political connection, or at least tends to represent Haksan in national decisions, as well as the Kenjiro family itself. You didn't really know that was the Kenjiro family. You just knew he was attached to like the local nobles, and then you're like, okay, it must be Waki. This guy's a bit of a big deal.
Yeah.
And in fact, even as he's sort of sitting in kimono, he has the pin on his sort of left breast that symbolizes his place on the council. It's a little, it's just a little like a small pinned engraving of the sun, and a couple of sun rays shooting out of it. He sort of is busy with some paperwork as you enter, and he goes, this is the group?
Yes, it is, Councilman.
Yeah, you have a very...
Is everyone there for this?
Yes.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the point is for him to get a vibe check on all of us.
Okay.
He
you
kind of...
you have a very lovely home, Councilman, Nagi says. That just kind of gives a little bow.
Thank you. And he kind of looks over you all and does a bit of a head count. Are you the group that was with Walkie recently.
We certainly are.
Yes, sir.
You spent a few weeks with him, yes?
There is recognition, and he kind of, one of his fingers taps the back of his other hand, and he's, well, you come storied.
Oh no.
Is that a good thing, sir? That's a little bit too much cheek in Aster's tone. It's
I hope it's
There's
only
no
good things, Julius would pipe up.
Good. Good. That was not meant as offense. My apologies. Waki, Lord Kenjiro seems to be ill. I'm sure you noticed he's very tired. Recently, it's no matter. He just
Can I get an insight on this man?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Oh, that's just a 10.
Oh, I rolled
Not
so
good.
bad.
This is rolling as well.
Thank you.
Nice.
Aster and Exalia, you managed to kind of clock that his kind of weird countenance is. When Waki probably told him this story, it was probably weird and disjointed and had some gaps in it because of ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You signed an NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and so this man is a little bit like, well, you came well recommended. That he said, like, you did a good job. He wasn't forthright on what that job was, though. And I'm a little concerned. But that is not to be discussed with commoners.
Kenjiro is a good man, and he's been under a lot of pressure, but hopefully now he should be back to his usual robust self, yes?
Yes, hopefully. He said he's getting rest now. It does mean that my presence at the festival is even more important, as Waki will not be able to make us showing himself, at least not at first. I'm already supposed to be there for official purposes, but I will now be the only representative from the region, so. I'm sure you understand the importance of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Alex lies.
yeah. Alex does not understand, but he will pretend he does.
Alex, absolutely. I completely understand. There is just no comprehension.
Yep.
I would say that Nagi, Ix, and Aster, you would all kind of be aware of what the Sunrise Council is. It is a governmental body. It is the legislative body of the southern province of Shalas.
Okay.
There's a lot of other things it does, but kind of in the way that you're vague, that like we as people are kind of vaguely familiar with like the governmental structure of most major foreign nations. You're kind of vaguely familiar with. There's a governor, there's a council. The Northern Chalasian Emperor sort of overlooks all of it. But now that you have this man as Sunrise Council, this man is a major legislative person.
Yeah. Who apparently has already heard at least some good word of us.
Mm-hmm. And I apologize if it seemed my request seemed a little off the usual. It's Lord Waki has held more of the palace guard than normal. That would normally be my escort, and it's not exactly safe to always advertise your movements.
Yeah.
That is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be requiring us of us if we were to take this job?
Well, a level of professionalism and dignity. This would be a bit more of a on the low, I guess. Not that it has to be stealthy, but given the circumstances, the strategy, I believe, might be to treat me as if I'm a normal traveler.
You maybe have a disguise that you could wear? You know, like, just more... Your clothes are quite lovely, but, you know, they might draw attention.
I can do such a thing. I know how to comport myself. I've not always been the station.
Of course, I meant no offense.
It's fine. Much of my better things will be following along a couple of days from now. Hopefully, if anyone is looking for my travel, they'll be looking for that.
We do have access to a wagon. We can bring the necessities should it be necessary.
It would be a bit more flashy to do it that way. I might bring a few bags along in that case, but it wouldn't be the whole kit and caboodle.
Of course not. It would be...
When I say low down and dignified, it wouldn't be a full regiment. That's a bit suspicious, but
Uh-huh.
I would prefer perhaps not a whistle-stop tour of all the inns and taverns and brothels between here and Horatori.
If it makes you feel any better, I've never been in a brothel in my entire life.
And our goal is
That-
Horatari as well.
He kind of looks at you, Nagi, and kind of glances, is like, who is this child's adult?
Joyce is gonna...
Alex is trying to make himself look as adult as possible, which is easy. Also, by the way, how's the ceiling?
You
God.
can stand in the ceiling. It's brushing the top of your head, but you can stand.
Okay.
Julius is gonna pipe up, just saying, our goal is not those in between. We are traveling to Horatari for our own business as well. So,
Then
if
it
we
is,
do stop at those places, it won't be for rowdy time, I would say.
Tea time.
She will giggle at rowdy time.
I'm trying to keep it PG for the children.
Counselor Koshiro kind of puts his mouth behind his hand.
This poor man. This poor...
Oh no!
Julius is kind of smirking at his own fucking... it's funny.
Oh, don't do that, kid!
I mean, you say that, but they make good places to stop off. No one looks for people suspiciously there.
I am okay with staying in taverns. I would just
Okay.
not like to have a repeat of my college years.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Alex is not laughing in character, by the way. Alex
At this
dead
point, it's
face.
looking- it's looking
PK, I am so
increasingly
sorry for
shifty
coming
at
to
this.
this. Anyway,
Fuck
it
it.
is. That's shit, okay?
Oh, you are all so stupid. In the most affectionate way possible.
Hi.
Holy shit.
How's
We're
game
interviewing a
going?
noble right now.
You're what now?
We're interviewing a noble because there's 3 jobs.
Irene, help!
There's 3 jobs that are potentially that want to go to Horitari, and one of them the noble wants to, go alone because of station. Me, Nagi, and Ix wanted to do the bugbear. Because the bugbear is concerned.
Okay,
Jamie,
Danny,
you're-
you've gone super quiet.
Yeah, you're fading out a little.
Oh, how's this? Is this better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
There are 3 jobs. There's one from the merchant representative of the farmer. There's one with a bugbear inventor, artificer gentleman who is
He's
He's lovely.
amazing.
We cannot take him.
I
It will
just-
only end badly.
I am saying...
No,
I am
You're
saying...
You're wrong.
I
It's
am
gonna go
saying-
perfectly.
I'm saying for this... I feel like
the other
noble.
job is someone on the Horatari Council who wants some
The Sunrise Council, yeah.
Okay.
Not so amazing.
It's not so amazing, but it is paying more gold and also
quite a lot
possibly lore, maybe?
It's also plot being placed literally right in front of
Just
our faces.
Grabby hands to plot.
Mountains and portals between here and Haratari. And
Can I put it this
what was the quote? What was the quote? I didn't write this one down. He doesn't want to stop a fall. What was the quote, Red?
He doesn't want to stop off for a whistle tour of every tavern, bar, and brothel between here and Horatari.
Guys,
What was Red's comment that just left me in
God.
hysterics?
I love all of you. Parker's gonna kill us if we don't take the noble.
That's literally not. Parker wouldn't have. Parker literally said that as he placed them there with each to different benefits that we could all gain from. So it doesn't matter which one we take in there.
Yeah.
We'll get different benefits if we like.
I will be right back. You guys do more infighting.
God, I love all of you so much. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. You all tried to explain it to me, and none of you said a goddamn thing. Okay, can I try to? So there are 3 potential jobs that we are choosing between that we can do on the way to Horatari.
Yeah.
Escort jobs to Horatari.
Escort jobs. The first one you guys didn't seem too incensed about, so I'm leaving that one alone. There was a farmer, bugbear inventor.
I love him.
Who everyone loves, and who Nocturne is saying we cannot take with us.
He's lovely. I love him to pieces. We cannot.
Okay.
I don't get why you think that.
We have to. They want to do both him and the noble at the same time. This will only end badly.
No, him and the farmer. Him and the farmer.
Yeah,
is
him and the
I
farmer
thought she was
is
the noble. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, him and the farmer is our new plan.
Okay. And so currently you are talking to a noble
He knows us.
who nobody likes.
I
Well,
like
it's
him.
not that we don't like him. He's likable enough. It's just that I like the other.
Not a bugbear.
As compared to Yoshi, he's not as impressive.
His name is
The
Yoshi.
bugbear with the explosive tendencies is called Yoshi.
Yoshi?
His name is Yoshi. It's
The noble
it's
is
lovely.
Koshiro.
He's lovely. This can only end badly.
Okay. Okay, carry on. Thank you for giving me this summary of what's happening.
Yeah.
I cannot. Irene can't help you now, children.
The noble in question is basically the representative for the Hoxton region, particularly when Rocky is indisposed, which he currently is due to, recovering from his ship being fucked up.
Good lord.
Recovering from us.
Gross. What did I just
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, okay. This is alright, cool. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry for the interruption. Thank you for the recap.
So we would be wanting to follow through as effective a route as possible to get you to. Okay, correct?
Yes, that would be appreciated. I mean, I would prefer to stay in a tavern every night, but I know that might not be possible.
Okay, I am back. What is going on?
If it means anything, but if we can't find a town, because can't always make it to a town by the end of the day. Irene here, our wizard, has a nice, comfortable dome that she can summon, and
Lehman's tiny hut. Excellent.
yeah,
Yes, the very same.
and it offers some protection.
Lovely, lovely. Is this all of you? Or
Nuggy will give a look.
As long as Nin hasn't absconded somewhere, and this is Joe saying Nin hasn't absconded. Yes, this is all of us.
okay, that's fine. I did want to reassure you. Though I would be expecting a level of protection and
Of course.
some professionality. I don't want to be sort of the bummer on the road.
Does he seem like a bummer, DM? Can I insight check of his bummer levels?
You can insight check.
He's the old guy who wants to be young and hip.
18. Does he want to be young and hip?
Yes, but he's also aware he's a politician who's been a politician for literally 150 years at this point, and knows that he might be a little bit of a stick in the mud.
Yeah. Like, after you're a politician that long.
He's self-aware, which is the point in his book.
How old is this guy? I don't know what this guy is.
He is 247. Irene, you would know this man. He is a member of the Sunrise Council. He is a major politician of Horitari.
Oh, so this is a figure I am familiar with.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I thought we were there.
I don't know what Irene knows.
He is a member of the legislative body of both Horitari and the southern province of Chilas.
One of 13 people on the Sunrise Council.
Yes, he has been there since before the current governor, but he's not, like, too long serving. Now that you kind of have him and you're still thinking about Kinjiro, you're like, this guy has connections to Shinji. I would think it's kind of in your head.
Okay.
You would know this man. He is a government official. Yeah, if my head of house said anything to you about expectations, he's a bit more of a stick in the mud about presentation than I am.
You can 100% say no, but I want to run something by you. Because it looks like we're leaning toward, because we have another job that we are potentially thinking of taking. Have you heard of the alchemist Yoshi?
He kind of blinks at you.
You can say no, as I said before.
Yamamoto Yoshinobu?
Yeah, I think.
Up in the North End?
Yeah.
Yes.
He kind of folds his hands. He is a very intelligent man. And then smiles.
Would you be open? He also wants to travel to Horitari, and he can offer some protective skills in his own right.
There's a little bit of fear.
We made a deal with him that he has bags of holding. He can keep anything dangerous in there. You could say no, like I said before, but would you be maybe interested or okay with traveling with him? As I said, you can say no, and there would be no hard feelings.
Also, as a group with larger amount of people, it would possibly draw more attention. However, we would be less likely to be messed with.
Accosted,
also,
yeah.
If it looks like we are guarding a merchant, well, it will draw some attention. It might not draw political attention.
They wouldn't expect you to necessarily travel with a merchant.
I suppose if someone will be attracting attention, Yoshinobu would be an individual to do such a thing.
Oh my god. We can't do this.
I would, I am not inherently against the idea.
Would you be afraid of meeting him yourself?
No, I've met him.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Yoshinobu has a storied history with permit denial.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
No.
This conversation is going great, you guys. 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
This
I-
is bad.
It's not going that bad.
No, it's not. He's considering it. He's like that.
He is very much considering the option.
This makes me think of like the local like street vendor that people just can't get rid of, and it's like people have told him to get off public property several times. Like that's sort of like I know this delinquent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get off public property, off property several times. So he varies between paying someone to let him use their front yard, or setting up on the sidewalk. Anyone who's gotten mad at him, if they've gotten mad at him for being on private property, or if they've gotten mad at him for being on public property.
I'm on the sidewalk. This is public property.
Hey, girl.
I would very much request that reactive materials be kept separate and safe.
We have already made that request.
Exactly. We have an extra horse that we can place these materials on, just to make sure it is far away from the living beings, aside from the horse.
Well, I also have a bag of holding myself, which means it's an extra dimensional space that will keep any reactive things out of it'll keep them safe essentially. But yeah.
And the man's cannon?
We're gonna request that he doesn't bring out a cannon.
I think Asta makes eye contact with Julius and is just like, cannon?
Julius looks at him as well. He's like, I didn't know he had a cannon. He also mouths that, confused.
There's a cannon?
He recently submitted a petition that he no longer owns it. However, there have been some reports of perhaps a disturbance of the peace that may or may not be canon related.
Well, we're gonna definitely ask him to not bring a cannon when he's with us then, because he didn't say there is a cannon before, so...
We will make sure to have a disclosement on all and every possibly dangerous artifacts that he wants to bring along on this journey. Especially if it's a cannon.
Yes, that would, if that is the case, then I would not be opposed to traveling with Mr. Yoshinobu.
Oh, okay. Well, have you had lunch yet?
Yes.
Oh, good. Would you be opposed to maybe setting off your pack? Or no, you're not packed yet, correct?
It wouldn't take my house staff very long. We're mostly packed and ready to go.
Oh, okay. Then, if you are not opposed, then we could maybe head off and go grab, go pick up Mr. Yoshi and very explicitly tell him to leave his cannon home, and
the cannon he is not supposed to have.
He may or may not have.
The cannon he may or may not have. Yes.
He is not supposed to have.
The cannon he officially does not have. Yes.
The cannon that he officially is not supposed to have, because wow, why would you have a cannon in the middle? Never mind. But
why wouldn't you have a cannon?
That's fair, but yes, we'll ask him to make sure that the cannon is not in his possession.
How large of a cannon are we talking?
I have not seen it myself.
Fair enough.
I presume it would be cannon-sized.
Well, yes.
And we already asked him not to do any sort of experiments while we are moving, because, yikes, that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Yes, we are going to keep the volatile materials separate from what they might react to, and we are going to explicitly ask that no cannon.
And any experiments should be kept at a minimum, and in fact, maybe nothing beyond potion making. I think.
Even that's dicey.
I would recommend not.
Yeah. Okay, so just we'll make sure that he's safe because he's willing to do this. Because
Dr. Cat.
Yes. Yes.
Bad.
he seems very agreeable. So
If these stipulations are met, then I believe I would be open to having another traveling companion. He looks a little bit like he wants to die. Or at least that he cannot believe what he's saying.
Excellent.
you are in the end, you are our priority. So
I
Yes, we will.
appreciate that.
Mans is regretting all of his decisions right now, huh?
Yeah,
Max
he
is
is.
possibly understanding some things that Walkie said about us.
Alex is not in this manner. He's a noble. But he's not been an asshole to us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's technically not a noble. He's just a council member.
Alex doesn't know what that means.
Irene, you would know a little bit about his history. Actually, make me a history check.
I will make you a history check. Fuck. Sylvester, I am begging you to not knock my computer over right now.
Mans!
Baby boy, please.
I love your boys so much.
Baby boy, please. History, do good. Do Pog, 18.
Okay, Arita Koshiro is indeed like 4 years older than you.
Yeah.
He was originally a law clerk
Tell me.
with the Kenjiro Daimyo.
Okay.
And worked up from being a law clerk until about 30-40 years ago he was appointed to the council.
Alright.
He very much does not come from a noble background.
Nice.
At most he was probably middle class. But he's a lawyer.
Nice.
I'm gonna cry, Sylvester.
Irene-
So cute.
Irene has this information in her brain.
I have a lance. Hold on.
Oh my god.
He kind of goes, is there any other additions
Nope, that's
to the
it.
crew? Excellent.
Please take your time to pack, and then we will be on our way.
I would like to leave.
Or rather,
I would like to
Sorry.
have perhaps a 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? Okay. Yeah, that works perfectly. Then we'll go to... Oh, or rather, we'll go to Yoshi and make sure he agrees to all of this. If not, then we'll come back with just ourselves and be on our way.
Excellent. Great. I will prepare.
Excellent.
the opportunity.
Excellent. Great.
Are
What he
we
means is
traveling
fuck
with
this. Fuck my life.
Wonderful. I get to be with the crazy man.
This is I told you.
Well, it's
Told
working
you it
out
would
so
work out.
far.
Yeah, I told you it could work out.
Wants to die, and you're saying it's working out
God damn it.
He did not say no.
Exactly.
because he's polite.
Hey,
hates
if
his
we're
life right now.
bastards, we can take advantage of polite people.
Okay.
Yeah, but Alex
Okay,
feels
maybe
bad
not
about
that
it.
far. Yeah, maybe not that far.
King.
So y'all go to collect Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
When you find him, he has put very large burlap sacks of things out on his front lawn. One of which is painted very much like he hand painted very recently a symbol of fire, and then an X across it.
God.
Does it look vaguely tube shaped?
It looks as if there's a collection of tubes inside.
Mr. Yoshi?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to pretend to be one of our party members anymore. However, Mr. Koshiro does ask that you leave your cannon at home, or at least if you can hide it in your bag of holding.
Okay, hold on.
Wait.
Wait. Like Councilman Koshiro?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Right. Okay, I can do that. Also, no cannon. There is no cannon. I will not summon the cannon.
Summon the cannon?
You will not summon the cannon?
We would prefer.
Hold on.
Well,
you can summon a cannon.
What?
You
Well,
can
it's just
summon a cannon?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, yeah, maybe
out
don't
of...
summon that.
My god.
Right. Yeah, I'm not supposed to have it. Like they don't know it's magic.
And another thing, would you be opposed to keeping your explosive materials in a bag of holding?
He like points over to the bag that has the symbol painted on. He goes, "You can put that in there, in the holding."
What did he say? Sorry, could you say it was
You
at
can-
the place?
Yeah, you can put that in the holding, the bag of
Okay.
holding, the one with the symbol.
Okay, cool. That way it stays safe. And
Mhm.
okay, so no cannon, and also please don't do experiments while we're traveling.
Right, yeah, we already. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then
Yes,
if you agree to those three, sorry, go ahead.
We were already in agreement with that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Did you want to sign the waivers or?
That would be really nice. I would like to not get sued in case something explodes.
Yeah. Also, maybe don't ask Mr. Koshiro to sign the waiver because I don't think he'd like that.
He like thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nagi will sign one of the waivers.
Yeah.
So will X.
So
Poor Julius.
yeah.
I can't remember the specific wording. You did.
I will not sue Yoshi if I am exploded or something.
I blank will not be upset if I am blown up by one of Yoshi's bombs or something like that.
Yeah.
Alex doesn't know what suing is.
I blank
Yes.
will not be.
Yes, that.
But yeah, so if you're in agreement to all of that, then Lord Koshiro would be happy to travel with. Well, he'd be fine traveling with you. It gives him a bit of cover, so.
He nods. Are you sure I don't have to lie? I found like a hat, and he pulls out like the rinkiest little hat you ever saw, and he like puts it on his head, and you're like at first like what? And then disguise self.
That's cool. No, I don't think you have to lie anymore, but that's very useful in case something happens on the road.
Okay. He like takes the hat off, and he's a bugbear again.
Huh, that's so neat.
He nods.
Yeah, so what time is it on the game?
It's about 1:30.
Oh god.
Yeah, we have some time
Okay,
to
so
kill. Sorry, go ahead.
since he has agreed, though, Asta is going to head back to the tavern to go collect the horses and wagon, so
Yeah,
that we can start loading things.
Julius would go with
Yeah.
you because somebody needs to ride the third horse,
Mm-hmm.
and he's already claimed that as his horse since he bought the damn horses and cart.
I will, at some point over the next week, basically give you the option of, as a party, you all can pick 3 common, 2 uncommon, or 1 rare magic item.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
You will have to run it by me. There is some that I will say no to,
Yeah.
but basically propose them to me, and I will give you a yes or a no whether or not Yoshi has them and is willing to give them to you.
So
Okay.
3 common, 2 uncommon, or 1 rare, right?
Yes. One,
Cool.
one of those three options. You're
Yeah,
not
one
getting
of,
all
yeah, one
five.
of the three. Yeah, one of the three.
God, imagine if you got all three. That'd be crazy.
Can you type that? I'm not gonna be able
Yeah.
to process that. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to listen to it twice too.
I get why you guys were so hype in the chat over this little bugbear dude. Like, there's no better NPCs in any campaign. Like, rip to all other NPCs.
God. Yeah, this is why we all went feral over this man.
Yeah, I love
He's
him.
also perfect.
Oh, baby cat.
Anyway, yeah, you all managed to go through his back room and pick your items, which you will be given. You pack all of his things up, and then you head back over to the Koshiro estate, where Arita Koshiro is sitting with essentially two like duffel bags worth of things. He's dressed in peasant clothing. His hair is a little mussed. He doesn't look like, he just kind of looks like a normal dude. He looks like a normal like lawyer dude, because that's what he is.
Yeah.
And he does have a horse. He does have a horse with him.
Okay.
And as you approach, I need you to know that that Yoshi has brought a lot of things along. So much so that the wagon there's still room for people to sit in the wagon, but it's a little cramped. And he kind of eyes that and eyes Yoshi as he kind of walks along next to you guys, and is like, "Oh, Zaire." You kind of he kind of mutters something under his breath, and he makes like a sign that's like a hand gesture that's reverential to Ayano.
Oh. I feel sorry for the sounds. Why have we done this?
And he greets you all and he goes, "All right."
Hello, Mr. Koshiro. Mr. Yoshi agreed to all of the stipulations.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
You notice that on he is wearing a little amulet that Irene you would pick up instantly as vaguely charmed, possibly as resistance against fire.
Nice.
God. Amazing.
God. This man's
incredible. I am thinking ahead. Smart man.
Yes, Amy. I hope you enjoyed Mr. Yoshi.
I absolutely did.
Night.
Good night.
Like,
Sleep
see you later
well.
in the week.
Mm-hmm.
At least this time we did it above board on trying to disguise these nouns.
Yeah. I was like, we could hide him, maybe. Worst case scenario.
And also, I love how we all just went cannon.
Cannon.
God, why?
And
Have
him
none
able.
of you read the Artificer class?
I mean,
I know.
No!
I must have
Don't
missed.
play artificers.
in general, I don't know what they do at this point.
I have an
Yeah, he's an
artificer. I even have an artificer with the cannon. I just did not. I forgot that the man was an artificer.
I've played clerics
Yeah.
and warlocks. I've never read.
He's an artillerist.
Yeah, one of the Artificer subclasses gives you magic cannon.
This is terrible.
Driving to the
It
piece
could
of mail, I know
have
cannon related.
It could have been worse. I could have made him the alchemist.
God.
God.
Or given him a robot dog.
Or given him a robot dog.
No, I think the robot dog would have been.
Anyway, he kind of, Koshiro kind of collects his horse. It's a little bit of a shorter horse because he's little dwarf man. But he assures you that it will be able to keep up just fine.
That is fair.
And if you are all ready to head out, you can all start heading down the road to Horatori.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How tall is this guy? Sorry, I'm asking all the dumb questions late.
Which
but
guy?
The lawyer.
The lawyer, he is a dwarf. He is 3'9".
3'9". All right. Okay. Good to know.
Oh God, Alex. I keep forgetting he's tall.
Alex is 7'10". Hold on, I'll make a chart.
God.
Yoshi, for reference, is 5 foot even.
Okay.
Aw.
Nagi height.
Oh, he's short for a bugbear.
God, how's the ceiling in Yoshi's place?
God. Okay.
Tall, but not in the way it should be.
Oh,
Does Alex have to bend over?
No.
Okay. Dude, Alex would
tall,
not fit
but
in my
not the
house.
way it should be is terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like that, by the way. That's weird.
And you leave Horatori. You leave Hakusan behind. The sounds of the city fade, and by an hour in, they are long gone. Mr. Koshiro is a lovely conversationalist. He is a politician, after all. He knows how to hold a conversation about nothing. At some point, I think he does gravitate towards you, Irene, being the only person he can clock that's vaguely maybe as old, like his age range.
His age range from around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respectable person.
He sort of engaged you in talk a little bit, kind of about, he asks you where you're from, and when you do you answer honestly?
Yes.
He kind of goes, oh, not too far out of the city then, and you two probably end up in a conversation about all the shit that's changed in the last 200 years.
Julius will be listening
I
in.
also show him my scrapbook, at least one picture from the scrapbook, almost certainly.
He is delighted, or
Excellent.
at least he is very good at feigning delight.
Thank goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yoshi, we'll talk to anyone who talks to him.
Nagi's probably
Amazing.
talking to him.
Yeah, I think Aster is kind of drifting into that conversation, mostly to keep an eye on
my
Nagi, and
Yeah, he has a lot of stories, particularly about the canon.
that he does not have.
That he does not have, and he's very clear to be like, yeah, what the canon that I used to have, like,
Oh,
very
God.
loudly in Koshiro's direction.
God.
Did the
This
cannon
poor
have a
man.
name?
It did have a name. I don't know what it is. I'll get you a name at some point. Could everyone just generally make me a perception check?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Perception.
Perception.
What skill I have? Irene is looking at her scrapbook so intently, trying to
God.
find the best pictures.
That's the wrong button. Hold on.
And we will need one for Ix and
I can't read.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I am getting to Ixalia Nin. Perception for Nin. Perception for Ixalia.
Hey.
Nice X.
Nice.
The next 2 weeks are interesting. Koshiro is relatively amiable. He does, Yoshi.
Yeah.
After an incident the second night where Yoshi had attempted to show you all something he built and managed to set his own fur on fire, Koshiro asked very kindly if we could refrain from the demonstrations until we made it to the city.
Yeah.
God.
But the road between Hakusan and Horitari is a well-traveled one, and a well-patrolled one as well. Not that there's a patrol constantly, but in that way of like, you gotta have some guts if you're a fucking bandit on this road.
Mm.
You know, you gotta have some fucking guts. Because there's just a lot of people. It's not... It's rare for you guys to go more than an hour without passing someone on the road. You all seem to be moving a little bit faster than a lot of other caravans, and a lot of the people you pass are also headed towards Horitari. But you are moving a little bit faster and managed to overtake them well. It's a beautiful path, especially as it gets steadily warmer as we start to reach the beginning of summer. And the last bit of the flowering petals on trees and flowers starts to fade and fall and replaced by lush greens. You all managed to catch the cherry blossom season as you pass by and happen to walk by an orchard during that time, and there's beautiful bright pinks. Koshiro actually asks to stop for a second, and he kind of wanders among the orchard for a second before coming back.
Asta's gonna want to gather some flowers as well.
Easily done.
Yeah.
Also, over the 2 weeks, can Nagi start working on or at least practice her wood carving?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Asta's also gonna want to practice the pottery if possible, but with the flowers he gathers, he's gonna... Anyone who will let him, he will tuck a cherry blossom into their
Oh,
into their hair or into button hole or something.
I will say, I mean, that's all easily done. Flower crafts and clay and wood carving. A lot of you are more sort of people are able to take sort of shifts in the cart. Although Yoshi ends up in the cart more often than not, because you learn very quickly that the horses do not like him.
Yeah.
I wonder why. It's a mystery.
Yeah. Julius is just gonna try and foster a bond between him and his horse, because why not?
Make an animal handling check.
Hell yeah. Watch this horse fucking hate Julius's guts.
This horse fucking hates you, Julius.
He's like,
You actually have to switch horse at some point with someone else because your first one just refuses to listen to you at some point. Koshiro, if Takefer starts to move to a political sense, Koshiro gets quiet more often than not. And if pressed, he mostly says that he's, under a certain obligation of discretion and can't necessarily talk about a lot of, inner things on the council or with the governor or anything. You do kind of get the sense, though, that he's getting a little bit grumbly with a couple of his other council members. He doesn't name names, but he does at some point make a mention of disagreeable coworkers.
Yeah.
So I rolled a d6 to see who I'd make a carving for, and I landed on Julius. So over the next 2 weeks, Nagi attempts to carve a little Julius for Julius.
Oh, a Julius for Julius.
Make a wood carving check.
What tool would you? What skill would you assign that to? Dex or
Dexterity. Dexterity.
Okay.
There's fine detail.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what you for a first pass at Julius, you make a really good little statuette.
Okay. Yeah. She'll give this to him when we arrive in Horatari, I assume.
Or you can do it on the road. That's fine.
Okay. Also, on our way from Hakusan to Horatari, will we be just subtracting any gold or silver for rooms, or?
No, I'm not gonna worry about that.
Okay, cool.
I don't care as much. We're kind of, y'all have the money to cover it. I don't care.
No.
Yoshi, seems to not have as much, liquid cash coin on him.
That's fair.
No, he would cover him.
Yeah, he really appreciates that, and he sort of makes up for that by making you like it's like a little fidget toy. It's two pieces of like very thin metal that easily slide against each other and make different shapes as you play with it.
Ooh.
No magic, just
Yeah, added it to my inventory. Fidget toy.
ADHD child receives STEM toy from weird bugbear grandpa. The last day before you hit Horatari, you were maybe you're maybe an hour out of town. You're all preparing to finally hit the city and not be traveling anymore. Koshiro seems to be getting a little bit like crunchy. He very much at some point does like, I usually make this trip by carriage.
Oh yeah.
He's getting a little old for this.
Yeah.
It's just the old folks probably talking about their osteos together towards the end of the trip. Like
pretty much
both talking about their crunchy bones.
Yeah, trading like treatment tips and shit. When Ixalia, Alex, and Aster all sort of catch something. The corner of your perception. Ixalia hears it the most, but Amy's not here.
Nagi also got a 24.
Oh, Nagi, you also hear this. Sorry, I missed you in the lineup. It sounds kind of faint at first, but then as you kind of start to peel your ears for it, it's kind of a, hey, anyone? Please, anyone?
Does it sound like distress, or because I mean, the tones you're putting on kind of played up.
It's more. It doesn't sound distressed. It more sounds like this guy's been shouting for somebody for hours.
Can I pinpoint where it's coming from?
It is coming from somewhere off the left side of the path. There's a little thicket of trees and bushes there that he seems to be coming from the side.
Can we stop the cart, please? The caravan, please, or the mini caravan? I hear someone calling for help. Over there.
I hear it too.
Anyone want to come with me to check, or? Okay, I'll do it myself.
I will, if no one else will. Yeah, if no one else is going to, Aster is gonna.
I'll go with. Irene would want to, but I also did just establish that she's having bone problems.
Yeah,
so
she's having osteos.
Yeah. So Nagi, Aster, and Julius, you all get out of the horse. You're off your horses or out of the cart or whatever you're specifically doing. and the rest of it kind of comes to a halt as you start to head off into this little thicket. And as you get,
Aster's probably going to put a whisper into Ix and probably Alex's ears to keep an eye on and be prepared for someone to try something stupid, I think is how he puts it.
Alex has a huge hammer. Alex has a Furbolg-sized hammer.
Large.
yeah, Ixalia is very like kind of props up on her toes and is ready to go.
Yep.
Nin is kind of fidgeting a little bit with her spell focus. And as you start to move into this thicket, it starts to get a little bit louder. Just, hey, is someone there? I can hear foot. Please, over.
Yeah. What's wrong? Nagia says she casually approaches. Oh, not carefully, not casually.
I'm kind of stuck. And as he says this, you pinpoint where his voice is coming from, and you kind of realize it's kind of from the ground level. And you kind of kick some of the branches aside, and all of a sudden you are presented with a young man with like sort of straight, sort of brownish hair, looking up at you from where he is buried neck deep in dirt.
Oh.
Did you get buried alive?
Yeah.
Why?
I was gonna put it a little bit more nice than that, but yeah,
Why did
Somebody do that
You're
to
not
you?
there.
Buried alive.
You're not there, Alex.
You're not there, Alex. This is a couple.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I thought Alex was going.
Yeah, why would they?
Well,
No,
Alex has a
Alex is
hammer.
staying back with the cart in case someone tries something stupid.
I mean, Alex can be there.
Oh, okay. I thought Alex was going with because he has a big hammer.
No,
No,
he's
Alex
on.
is staying in case someone decides to use this as an opportunity to ambush.
Oh, Alex is staying because he has a big hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He kind of is like, I got fucking mugged. All right.
Insight check.
Oof.
Is he telling the truth?
Insight check.
I'd like
Roll.
to
Yeah.
also. I won't do as
26.
well, but yeah, no. Julius is just entertained by this.
Aster, he seems to be telling the truth. Nagi, he's telling the truth. It seems like there's something about the incident he doesn't kind of want to mention. But he's kind of above board.
Okay, so before we help you, you're not dangerous, are you? And trust me, I'll know if you're lying.
Well, first off, I'm buried in dirt.
I mean, after
Second
we get
off,
you out.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they took my shit. And I'm not out here to, like, hurt anybody.
Does he seem on the up and up, DM? With the insight
Yeah.
roll, or okay.
With the,
You
with,
know
I'll let
they're
that
still
insight.
around?
I'll let that insight roll go. And he's like, he seems on the up and up, and he goes, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a fucking while. I'm kind of hungry. If they're still here, I don't know what they're here for.
Okay, then people stand back. I recently learned how to mess with Earth, so you don't actually have to stand back. But yeah, she'll mold Earth him out of the dirt, even if it takes a few castings.
He goes, yeah. What's the actual text of mold dirt?
Yeah, mold dirt.
Mold Earth.
Dirt.
Well, I mean, we are kind of using it as mold dirt.
Yeah.
It can be a 5-foot cube, essentially, and you can cast it twice.
Yeah, you can cast it twice pretty quickly. So, he kind of goes, I appreciate it. I know, it's probably gonna take a while. I'm pretty stuck in- Oh, shit!
He just does martial arts moves and punches the ground, and then he comes out.
Yeah. Can you guys give me a second?
Yeah. Oh god, are we gonna have to fight something?
No, I spilled something over here.
Oh, okay.
no!
Give me like 2 seconds.
No, you have to say it again. I was muted. Say it again.
Hi, gays.
That's my brother.
Hello, gay.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
fellow
Gaiden.
gay.
They say hi, Gaiden.
Correct.
Correct.
The Hobbit.
Look at this fucking nerd.
Or
We're
the
taking the hobbits to Isengard.
He's reading The Hobbit. I'll mute so you guys.
What chapter are you on?
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
Oh, the
Nothing
beginning.
Nasty, dirty, wet.
Oh, I
hole
love
filled
it.
At the ends with worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly
Shoot
round
us.
door.
Okay, I'm back.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. He's still going.
I'm so happy. I love him very much.
On walls and floors, tiled and carpeted, provided with polished chairs and lots of pegs for hats and coats. The Hobbit was fond
This
of
is going to
figures.
show up on stream. You are aware,
He
PK.
fucking said it.
Yay!
He said The Hobbit.
He just said the
That's
fucking
the
Hobbit
title.
right there.
He dropped the title.
The book's done.
Book's done. He dropped the title.
I missed the brother. No.
They're clapping for you.
Yeah, man, sometimes I do just want to like sit down and read a book out loud.
You should do it.
You should.
Can you get him to say PogChamp?
Person thing that we take reading
They-
chapters of a book to each other.
That's so gay.
That's what her grandparents do, and as soon as she told me that, I was filled with such an intense sense of jealousy.
You're such a
and-
dweeb. Why do you want to be exactly like your Jeep's grandparents?
Oh my
Because
god.
they are hashtag goals.
Oh my god.
I love him.
I love him
You know
so
that this is
much.
actually longer than the first Harry Potter book?
I'm familiar, yes.
I love him.
Anyway, my cat's also here. in
Your
case
brother is so wholesome, PK.
They think you're wholesome, Hayden. What do you have to say about that?
It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Can
It's a
you
lot.
say PogChamp?
Can you say PogChamp?
PogChamp.
Yeah!
We have that audio forever now.
We will now have a clip. Look at Jasper! Look at Jasper! What a pretty girl.
Jasper.
Wait, can I want to show the Lancy pants again. Oops.
Feet.
Really? Stick your leg up in the air, huh?
Leggy.
Leggy!
Stick your leg up real far.
Oh shit, mine just got turned off.
Let's have a let's go.
Tommy Wiseau is Parker.
Aiden would like to see Jasper, then
You're an
this
animal.
Jasper is currently in a better position to be seen.
Look at this. Look at this.
Hey, sorry about that. Didn't expect that to take so long.
No.
You're
It's
good.
alright.
My brother's
Okay.
kidnapping his cat to
Accident
showcase
happens.
to the gays.
I spilled shit and then out of a can, and I
You know,
managed to nick myself.
that's why
Oi!
Obi!
Oh my
I
god.
love Overeat.
Chunky mans.
Why is he so big? Who let him do that?
I love how you
He's
guys
over.
just. You guys are just
Over
holding
the
your
cat.
cats like that. If I did that, Lance would freak out. That's why he
Fucking
just
love it.
lays there.
I love Obi the cat.
Alright, back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
No, I want more cats right
You're
now.
You
I cut
have this
myself a
one.
little bit, so I had to do a really quick blood cleanup.
Oh,
Unfortunate
no.
stage.
Oh,
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah,
it was
Cody,
just,
you're okay.
I'm okay. It was just enough that I was like, ah, fuck.
Well,
Well, I'm glad you're
It's a
okay.
couple of minutes of audio of Hayden reading The Hobbit.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Nagi kind of does some martial arts and just last little heel against the ground, and this man comes right out of the ground like, oh fuck! And
What the fuck?
and he is standing there on the dirt, kind of like shocked and surprised.
Hi
And-
there. You're free now.
Okay, that was pretty cool. And you're looking at him. He looks like he's a 20-something, probably human man, kind of young, very young looking. He's wearing kind of like courier's garb, like he's meant to be like moving pretty quick. On his upper right arm, he has a tattoo. It is of a sort of a six-sided shape of in this sort of like dull beige, and then in the center of this shape is a golden bird.
Does this seem like something Julius knows?
Yes, Julius, you know exactly what this is.
Would Asta potentially?
Roll me a history check.
No.
No fucking idea.
Boy does not know things, he just vibes.
And Nagi definitely wouldn't know, right?
100% Nagi would not know at all.
Okay.
Julius is just gonna give like a slight smile and just say, "Where were you heading?"
I was heading back into town. I had a delivery to make, and motherfuckers just
Stole the delivery?
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be pissed. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Need a lift.
Well, what kind of delivery was it? Because I might be able to try and find it if it's not too far out.
Nah, it's just nothing, particularly distinctive or anything. Getting back to town would be better. I was kind of buried up to my neck in dirt for multiple hours.
Yeah, you were.
We can offer you a ride.
That would be excellent. Do you have any jerky you can spare?
Sure. She'll hand him a whole ration.
Fuck yeah.
And Asta's gonna offer the water skin.
Yeah, he kind of goes to chug it and remembers, like, wait, you're not supposed to do that.
No, you're not. I'm Ashley, by the way.
Hey, nice to meet you. Akiba.
Akiba.
So, suppose you guys are from the road?
Yeah, we heard you yelling for help while we were traveling by.
I mean, thank God, finally. He kind of, like, rolls his neck and you hear a crunch and he's like, oh, okay, hi.
Also,
How tall is he?
What did the golden pin look like also?
It's a golden bird.
Okay.
It's sort of stretched out as you would see it possibly on a coat of arms.
Okay.
It's not like it was on the arm of his shirt, right?
Tattooed onto his upper arm.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
He is he seems to be about 5'10", 5'11".
Okay.
Okay.
To the road then, I guess.
Oh, we are traveling with other people. Well, we'll explain when we get there, I guess.
That's fine. I really don't care.
You just want to make sure you make it the last hour without any other mishaps?
That would be nice. Yeah. I'm already massively late without my delivery. And he walks back to the cart with you guys.
Sure.
Okay, everyone. We found someone buried. He was mugged, kind of left for mugged and buried in it up to his neck. He seems pretty okay, and we offered to let him travel with us for the last hour, so that doesn't happen again.
Julius is going to grab the dude first and just stop him and just say, "We are going to check you for extra weapons, though, if you don't mind."
They took all my shit, man.
Julius is just gonna give him a look.
That's not gonna stop him.
Fine, man. Sure, whatever, I don't care. And he holds his hands out. Roll an investigation check.
Okay.
God.
Investigation.
Hey.
Oh god, that's so bad.
Julius, please.
However, I'm gonna PM you what he says to him, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Were you about to say something, Joe?
I thought better of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can Irene get the dirt off this guy?
What do you mean?
Can she prestidigitate the dirt off this guy?
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Yes, that is what she does. What did you think I meant?
You said get this dirt off this guy as if, like, dirt, like, information, because you just have been, like, rolling your history and investigation checks.
I definitely do that. The literal dirt. The actual dirt that he was buried in.
Yeah, you know, go good.
Okay, I've sent you what I wanted to say.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, natural 20! Oh. Hey!
Yeah, as you say that to him, and you feel the little breath intake, and I mean, yeah, man, search me, whatever you want. Sure, yeah.
Julius will search him.
And he kind of just let you do it.
Yep. Julius will nod after that pathetic investigation check and just say, alright, seem clean enough aside from the dirt.
Which Irene is fixing, and he's like, I told you. Alright, can we get going, please?
Yeah. Nagi will keep an eye on him.
Where you were traveling from?
Oh, that's...
I was actually traveling, I'd left Horitari this morning, traveling out to, any motions in his, like, a thumb in a direction. He goes, town out that way to pick something up and bring it back.
Yeah. Is he telling the truth, DM?
Roll an insight check.
Aw, 14.
Which town were you heading to?
He gives you a town name.
One of the in-betweens?
At the moment?
Not quite in between. It's about 2 hours. About 2 hours west.
Okay.
Like northwest. Like it makes sense he'd be off this road, going to that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legit town. I just don't have it off the top.
No,
of my
that's
head.
fair. Julius is just curious.
And unless there's any other protests, you all make it the last hour into town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
The Horitari rises above. You pressed the hill off the north, and Horitari is laid out in front of you. You can see the coastline of the ocean just off the way. The sunlight is sort of reflecting off of it in the early afternoon. The farmland is long and storied and stretched, and there's a lot of rice paddy fields as well. It's a little marshy towards as you get closer to the ocean side. You come in via the Smokeway Road, the northernmost district, and it's not the most elegant introductions to the city. This seems to be a very industrial part of town, heavy, cloaked, packed buildings together. But this stretch of the road does not last very long until you hit the Twilight District, and this, Irene and Julius would know, is where Horitari really becomes itself.
Mm-hmm.
The buildings here are small but ornately built, with often the alleyway walls are painted in these beautiful murals. There are lots and lots of flags and colored pennants that hang off of the street lamps and across clotheslines that hang across the street. There are people here. There are so many people here. Haksan was a big city. It has nothing on Horitari. It's loud and it's packed and it's just breathing with this life. The Twilight District is, even as you walk through it, you can get the sense of the level of art and the level of care that goes into everything that's made here. There are statues, there are paintings, there are murals. It's gorgeous.
As we kind of enter Horitari, Julius is going to put on disguise self. It's gonna look like that kind of generic human form that he wore when he met the party, just with different features. Different colored eyes, probably.
When the Horitari music hits.
Let's
go.
I was looking for it that entire time. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
You're good. You're good.
You're super valid.
It just feels like we entered the Twilight District.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Twilight District spreads out in front of you. Koshiro kind of...
Oh, I was just gonna ask how our caravan is doing.
So some of the streets here you've had to kind of skip through because Horitari is a very built into itself city. There's a lot of people here, but the main roads are still open that you can travel through. Koshiro does mention that he needs to sort of stop in at the sort of Parliament House to let them know he's arrived, which would be where it is labeled Castle.
Okay.
It was once the palace of the Shogun, but it is now the Imperial Governor and Parliamentary Building. And Yoshi, he has mentioned that he's going to be stopping off more in the Western Hills. The other major district, which is a lot of the residential area, because he is renting a place and he needs to get there. Your other little add-on doesn't really say anything yet. He's kind of following you along for the moment. And as you sort of lead the cart towards the Parliamentary Building, you turn once, twice, and then the third time, and suddenly the city opens up into this beautiful grass lawn, huge. On one side rises the Parliamentary Building, grand and stately. Irene, you know this is the version they rebuilt after the war. It is at once southern, but also clearly with northern influence. It is built tall and high and proud, and there's a gate around it, the guard. On the other side of the clearing, there is first a statue, tall and imposing, a statue of a woman with long hair, her hands held out on either side. One hand clutches a bouquet of wheat, and the other is a paintbrush. And beyond her, rising, is the temple to Lede. The gate out in front of it, standing as a guard for the pathway up and into the larger sanctuary. And this is where I think I'm going to call session.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Welcome to Horitari.
Hell yeah.